Hey guys, welcome back. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about blossom end rot. It's a common thing that can happen with our veggie garden, especially with tomatoes. There are some other vegetables that it can happen to, but mostly you see it with your tomato plants. I have a really quick and easy way to combat this problem. So let me show you the plant that has it, and then I will show you what I do to take care of it. All right, before we get started, can we just take a moment and admire just how thick and huge my tomato plants are? And we've been harvesting already, and I'm gonna leave them on so I can do a big harvest to show you guys how many we actually get. But this is the plant that has the blossom end rot, and I just pulled off a tomato to show you guys what it looks like. So you can see the bottom is typically the blossom end. That's why it's called blossom end rot. And you could see the bottom is just kind of rotten. It's dark. And what causes this is a deficiency in calcium. Now what I'm thinking is I accidentally skipped feeding this plant because none of the other plants have this issue. So that's my guess. But what can happen is you might be using a fertilizer that doesn't have the right nutrients, including calcium, for them. Or if you do use a fertilizer that has calcium in it, you might not be watering it sufficiently. So although you might have the calcium in there, because it's not being watered regularly, it's not uptaking those nutrients. But anyways, this is what that looks like. And I'm going to show you the products that we're going to be using today to combat this issue. Okay, before I show you guys the products that we're going to be using today, I did want to show you a couple more tomatoes on that same plant that has the issue. You can see over here it's just starting, so it's just a light little dark spot on our tomato. This one is pretty evident. You can see the blossom end rot really clearly on this one. The whole bottom is rotten. And although we can't reverse this, we can prevent it from happening again. So what we'll do is we will cut off all of these tomatoes, and then the next bloom of tomatoes shouldn't have this issue. So don't worry if your plant has it. All you'll have to do is pick off the ones that have the blossom end rot. I'm going to show you the product that we're going to be using, and then your next set of blooms and tomatoes should be perfectly fine. I'll take one of all of you, but today I'll just need you. All right, so the product that we're going to be using today to treat the blossom end rot is garden lime from Espoma. So this is what I always use when I have this issue, and it really does help, and I don't have an issue after using it. So what I like to do is just do 2 to 4 tablespoons per tomato plant, and you want to work that into the soil. Just you can make like a little ring around the drip line of each of your plants. So that's what I'll do. We'll work it into the soil and we'll water it in. Now because we do have a plant that has it, I'm going to take a preventative measure and just apply it to all of them, just to cover all of our bases. Now I am fertilizing them every 2 weeks with tomato tome, but maybe I just missed that one. I'm not sure. But I think it's just a good preventative thing to do if you do have one of your plants that are experiencing this, or if you are experiencing this often with your tomatoes, then you want to make sure that you do an application every month, and that will really help combat that issue. All right, so if you're having a big outbreak in your garden with the blossom end rot and you want to eradicate that problem quickly, then I recommend this product right here. So it's just a stop blossom end rot of tomatoes. And I will link it down below for you guys in the description box, but this is a foiler spray. So you're going to be spraying it on the leaves of your tomatoes, and you'll do 2 tablespoons per gallon of water. So basically I would recommend you guys doing this in the morning because again, it is a foiler spray and you don't want to do it when the sun is beating down on your plants. So I would recommend watering your tomatoes really well that morning and then spraying this afterwards. Again, this works super quickly, whereas the garden lime will take a little bit longer to break down, but for me the garden lime works really well, but this stuff also works really well. So if you don't want to use the foiler spray or the garden lime, you can try using eggshells. So basically what you'll do, you'll save the shells from your eggs, chicken eggs, and you want to make sure that you dry them out, and then you can blend them so it's almost like a fine powder, and then you can sprinkle that around your tomato plants. Now I know that does work, but it does take a while for that to actually work. So just keep that in mind. If you want something more fast acting, I would use the garden lime, and if you want something super fast acting, then the foiler spray that I told you about. Lastly, there is a product by Job's Organic, and it's their bone meal. So you can use that as well to help eradicate this problem. I haven't personally used that before, but I do know people who have, and it has helped. For me, again, the garden lime, it's what I know, it's what I use, and it's reliable. So that's just what I like to stick to. But anyways, let's go ahead and get our plants fed with some of this calcium, and we'll water it in. Okay guys, so we did put the garden lime on all of our plants, so they should be good to go. We watered them in. Now you did see me add a little bit of soil on top, and that's just because I am watering with the hose right now and some of the soil gets pushed away. And so some of the roots can get exposed, so I just did a thin layer of some organic soil. So if you are interested in how I grow my tomatoes, then I will link down 2 videos that I posted down below in the description box. As you can see, they're doing really well, and I have a really great method of growing them. And you know, we get lots and lots and lots of tomatoes every year. So I will link down those videos if you're interested to see how I grow my tomatoes and all of the fertilizers that I like to use. All right guys, well that's it for today's video. I hope that was helpful. Now like I mentioned, there are other things that you can do in your garden to help combat this problem, but for me, I think using the garden lime is just the easiest and most effective way of doing it. So that's what I like to do. And I will link down today's products in the description down below, so if you're interested in ordering it, you can. But if there are other things that you do in your garden to help this issue, please let me know. That, you know, it's always nice to hear what other gardeners are doing. Or if you have any questions, just let me know down in the comments. But yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.